Yeah.
And you know what? Something you just said, Sam, that's really awesome, and which related to myself is what I've discovered personally, from my own view anyway, is sometimes the dream that you want is right there in front of you. It's there, but sometimes you just can't see it because you've got too much crap going on here. When you can get rid of that, all of a sudden things start popping in. And I'll share something with you, Sammy, and I'll share it on here to people. When we were on Wentworth together, which was the amazing part about that was I texted you 2 days before and said, hey, I'm in Australia, let's catch up. And you went, yeah. And next thing I go in the green room and you're sitting there on the set. And I went, well, that was quick. Right. And we're meeting. But you said one thing to me, and I've shared this on a lot of my talks and that. Yeah, temper, anger, wasn't dealing with this young kid, broken relationships. And I just happened to mention something to you that I was going through another relationship breakdown. And you said to me, Andy, hang on a minute. And I'm happy to say this. You went, you keep going, yeah, but you're still got the same problem. Everything I've said to you, you've agreed with me, but you're actually not taking that action. Well, I tell you, Sammy, I don't know how long ago that was, but 3 days ago, I'm in a relationship with a Christian woman now that I met. I've known for 4 years, had no idea we had this, and now we are basically in an early stage of a relationship, and we're so related on the same path. But it happened because I got rid of whatever's in front of me. I got rid of it. And all of a sudden, everything starts changing. Things come to you that have been sitting there, works better, finances better, acting's better, relationships. So I just want to share that with you. From that conversation we had, I started taking the action and stopped going, yeah.
Yeah, look, it's very easy to get caught up in that. I remember the conversation with you, and may I share the fact, you talk about, stuff that's cluttered in front of you. Stuff that's cluttered in front of you creates a blur. And sometimes when you've got a blur and your vision is impaired, you need to step back. And what happens when you step back? Those so-called blinkers come off from all that pressure and everything starts to open up. So you start getting this peripheral vision, right? As opposed to a narrow vision. And you can make better choices and better decisions stepping back than what you can in front of you. No one, as much as I'd like to say, people create these problems. Yeah, you're probably right. But on the same token, I think we are our worst enemies at times.
Yep.
And I think I said to you, one of the key factors is understanding who you are.
Yes.
If you remember, I said to you.
Yeah, you did.
I stop there. I said, stop there. Let me ask you a question. I said, and you won't have an answer for this straight off because it happened to me. I said, Andy, I'm going to ask you a question. See if you can answer this. Who are you? What do you want to represent? What do you want to be known for? And you stopped and you stuttered. And I've never, ever, in the time that I've known you, right, heard you stutter unless you're doing it for acting. Yeah? So there alone, I said, you don't need to answer me now. I said, you can come back to me tomorrow if you want. Have a good think about it. I said, because it took me days.
And you're right. I went home and I had to really think about that because I actually didn't know who I was and I didn't know what I wanted to be and I didn't know what I wanted to stand for. And yeah, that question just stopped me in my tracks. Stopped me in my tracks.
The fact that you don't know that, how are you supposed to move forward?
Yeah.
What are you moving forward for? To make someone else happy? You've got to move forward. If you're happy, Andy, or if it's Doug, either or. This is why I say to people, you need to be happy in a happy place for everything else around you to work well.
Mm.
You can't perfect one. You can't profess this to someone and say, hey, look, be happy. Meanwhile, you're totally the opposite. It's hypocritical what you're doing. So in your scenario, I heard you, I was very fortunate that you actually spoke out. You were very open. But most importantly, that's when you got the best out of me. The fact that you were open and you weren't lying. And that's why I pulled you up and did say to you, hey, stop there. Stop. I need to ask you something. Yeah? So that was really good for me. I'm so glad we had that conversation. And, you're not the only one.
It's amazing, Sammy.
Yeah.
And that what you've taught, what I got from you and those years that have gone by has now helped me with other people I've coached and mentored, and Doug's a perfect example, not because of what I did, because he got what I was saying to him, but he took charge of that. He took it all. I didn't. People go, God, it's so amazing, Andy, what you've done with him. I said, yes, I get that, but I've just said, hey, Doug, what about this? What are you going to do? And he took it on. Not once is this. If this guy was trained to be a fighter, he would be a champion. Absolutely no doubt, because he gets up every single time. Every single time.
I appreciate that. I do my best. Hey, Andy, just a question now that you brought that stuff up. Can I be your best man?
Oh,
He's a well, I think that's about time. We've run out of time.
yeah.